When your wife looks at you and says, "I don't care anymore," most men panic. They defend, they argue, then try to convince her she's wrong. And every single one of those responses pushes her further away. I'm Noah Allen, and I help high-achieving husbands rebuild trust and save their marriages, even when she's emotionally shut down or ready to leave. Today, I'm breaking down exactly what's happening when she says, "I don't care anymore," why your first instinct is wrong, and what to do instead if you want any chance of turning this around. Because here's the truth. What you do in the next 48 hours matters more than anything you've done in the past 6 months. Let's get into it. So let me ask you something. When she says, "I don't care anymore," do you think she's giving you a final verdict? Well, most men do. They hear those words and their brain goes into panic mode. But here's what's actually happening. She's not closing the door. She's testing whether you can finally handle what's on the other side of it. Let me tell you about a guy we worked with. We'll call him Mark, high-performing executive, crushed it at work, closing $1 million deals. We do get a lot of salespeople. It's quite interesting. Leading teams of 50 people. But when his wife said, "I don't care anymore," one night after dinner, he immediately went into fix-it mode, started listing all the things he changed, started defending himself, started trying to convince her she was wrong. And you know what happened? Well, shocker, she shut down even harder, walked away, left him standing there wondering, what the heck just went wrong? Here's the thing about Mark's situation. It's like the two of them built a dance without even realizing it. Every step, every move he made triggered the next one in her. He spoke, she defended. She withdrew, he chased. He backed off, she felt abandoned. Around and around it went. The pattern was the problem, not the people. Think of it like this. They were both standing in a rowboat out in the middle of a lake. Every time she rocked the boat, he'd grab the edge and rock back, trying to steady it. But that movement only made it worse, and it made the waves worse. The more he tried to fix the rocking, the more unsteady the whole boat became. And it wasn't until Mark finally planted his feet, took a deep breath, and steadied himself first, that the water finally started to calm down. See, when she says, "I don't care anymore," she's not telling you she's completely detached. She's telling you she's exhausted. Exhausted from trying to make you understand. And nothing's changed. It's not indifference, it's emotional fatigue. She's been pushing, pulling, hinting, and hoping you'd finally lead differently. And when you kept showing up the same way, same defensiveness, same empty promises, same pattern, she hit a wall. That wall sounds like, "I don't care anymore." But here's the part most men miss. She's watching what you do next. When you panic and react, you confirm her fear. You prove you're still the same man who got her here in the first place. The man who can't handle her emotions without crumbling. The man who needs her validation to stay grounded. The man who reacts instead of responds. And that's exactly what she's testing for. She wants to see if you've actually changed or if you're just performing until the pressure hits. This is where what I call the man of steel mindset comes in. You don't flinch, you don't defend, you don't collapse. You become the lightning rod, grounding her emotional storms without letting it shake you. Think about it like this. In every culture, the sun is masculine, the moon is feminine. Where does the moon get its shine from? The sun, not the other way around. The masculine has to lead first, not because you're trying to control her, but because you're brave enough to step into the storm without needing her to tell you it's safe. When you do that, you lay down the foundation. You create the space where both of you can move forward together. That's the difference between reacting and leading. And when you can do that, when you can stay grounded while she tests you, everything shifts. Which brings me to the next critical piece. Now, I know what you're thinking. Noah, that makes sense, but what do I actually say when this happens? Let me show you exactly what not to say first. Because once you understand why these responses fail, the right responses become obvious. So there are 3 responses most men make when they hear, "I don't care anymore." All 3 of them destroy whatever trust is left. And by the way, you can interchange the "I don't care anymore" with so many different phrases. So let's break them down. Response number 1 is the defender. "Yes, you do. What about last week when we had that good conversation? What about the time you said you still love me?" This is just pure panic. You're trying to argue her back into caring. then it doesn't work. Here's why. When women feel pressure, they get indecisive and shut down even harder. Think about when a waiter comes to your table, everyone's done ordering, but you're still scanning the menu with 40 options. You feel rushed. What do? You make a snap decision just to get rid of that pressure. Your wife is doing the same thing, except instead of picking a meal, she's picking the easiest way to remove the emotional pressure you're creating. And that path is getting rid of you. Response number 2 is the fixer. Okay, I hear you. Tell me what you need me to do, and I'll do it. This sounds reasonable, right? It's wrong. This is you asking her to lead the emotional repair of your marriage when she's already told you she's checked out. She doesn't want them to manage your growth. She doesn't want to give you a checklist. She wants you already to know what to do. She wants you to lead without needing her instructions. When you ask her to tell you how to fix this, you're proving you still don't get it. Response number 3 is the avoider. Okay, that's how you feel. Or give you space. This is indifference dressed up as respect. And it's just as weak as the other two. Giving her space when she's already distant doesn't create safety, it creates more distance. She's not asking you to leave her alone. She's asking you to show up differently. Most men try to rebuild the marriage, but they forget to rebuild themselves first. It's like software. If the system keeps crashing, you don't just restart it, you upgrade it. You rewrite the code so it can handle more power, more data, more connection. That's what this moment is, a full system upgrade. And when you upgrade yourself, you're not asking her to fix you. You're not asking her to lead the repair. You're showing her through your actions that you're becoming someone she can finally trust again. If those 3 responses don't work, what does? Well, let me show you. The right response isn't about having the perfect words. It's about showing up from a completely different place inside of yourself. So here's what that looks like in real time. When she says, I don't care anymore, here's the framework. Step 1, don't react. Respond from calm. Take a breath. Let her words sit for a second. Don't jump in with defensive or panic. Your silence here is more powerful than anything you could say in the moment, because what she's really testing is whether you can handle her emotions without losing yourself. Step 2 is acknowledge without pressure. Say something like, I hear you. I know you're exhausted, and I get why you feel that way. That's it. No defending, no convincing, no trying to change her mind. You're giving her the space to feel what she's feeling without making her wrong for it. And here's the magic in this. When you don't fight her, she stops having to fight you. Step 3 is lead without chasing. I'm not asking you to care right now. I'm focused on becoming the man you can actually trust again, whether that changes things or not. This is the most critical part. You're not trying to save the marriage in this moment. You're showing her you're focused on yourself first, that you're not hooked to her responses, that you're not bleeding your emotions all over her. And when you do this consistently, not just once, but week after week, something shifts. She stops feeling pressured. She starts watching you instead of defending against you. And over time, she begins to feel something she hasn't felt in months. Safety. Let me tell you about another client I had. We'll call him Chris. When Chris first started working with us, he used to lose his cool almost every week. Not in some explosive way, but in those quiet, subtle moments that chip away at trust. The sigh under his breath, the irritated tone when she didn't respond the way that he'd hoped, the tension in his jaw. He wasn't a bad man. He was trying to perform under pressure without actually training. So we started small. Every day for 30 days, he practiced one thing: grounding, breathing, noticing his body, holding calm even when she was cold or distant. Here's what happened next. About 6 weeks in, his wife, who wasn't even really talking to him at that time, looked at him and said, "You're doing something. I don't know what it is, but I can tell you're doing it." She didn't know he'd be basically retraining his nervous system, but she felt it. See, the feminine, it mirrors and reflects. So when you bring that energy to it, she will mirror it and reflect it back. Think of it like learning the piano. When you first start, you're clunky. You overthink every key. You make mistakes. You stop and start again. But when you practice long enough, your fingers know the songs by heart. You don't have to think anymore. The music just flows. And that's what emotional leadership is. At first, it feels mechanical. You have to remind yourself to breathe, to listen, to stay grounded. But over time, it just becomes automatic. It's because it's becoming who you are. it really becomes who you are. And that's when she starts to feel the difference, not because of what you say, but because of how you show up. Now, this isn't a one-time thing. This is a pattern you build. It's a lifestyle. Consistency builds credibility. Credibility builds safety. Safety builds desire. That's the order of things. And if you're sitting here thinking, Noah, this makes sense, but I need more than just one response. I need a full roadmap. Well, I've built you something. I've created a free training and a book, and you can get on a call with my team. It all walks you through the exact step-by-step to rebuild trust, rekindle connection, and lead your marriage, even if she's emotionally checked out. You'll find that link below this video. It's not therapy. It's not guesswork. It's a strategy for men who lead from calm, not chaos. Because when you learn how to lead yourself first, you don't have to chase her anymore. Now, let me bring this all together, because there's one final piece that ties everything we just talked about into a clear path forward. Look, when your wife says, I don't care, she's not closing the door. She's testing whether you can finally handle what's on the other side of it. And the only way you pass this test is by showing her, not telling her, that you're no longer the man who reacts. You're the man who leads. You don't defend. You don't chase. You don't collapse when pressure hits. You stay grounded. You stay consistent. You stay focused on your own goal. And when you do that week after week, something incredible happens. She stops seeing you as the problem she needs to escape. She starts seeing you as the safety she's been missing. That's when trust rebuilds. That's when connection returns. That's when real attraction, genuine, true, wanting, burning desire comes back. Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. You don't sprint to feel in control. You move with strategy, with rhythm, with presence. So if you're serious about becoming that kind of man, one that she can finally feel safe with again, click the link below. Go watch my free training. Go get our book or schedule a call with my team. I'll show you the exact framework I use with my clients to turn these conversations around, rebuild marriages from the ground up. Because when you learn how to lead first, you don't have to chase her anymore. She naturally turns back towards the man that she can finally trust again. Click those links down below, watch the training, get the book, or schedule a call with us, and let's get to work. See you in the next video. Bye.